Have you ever been enjoying a peaceful moment, only to have someone's negativity disrupt your calm and throw you off balance? It's amazing how a few toxic words or actions can unravel the serenity we've carefully cultivated. In this captivating video, we'll explore 11 powerful strategies that wise people use to manage the emotional storm that comes from dealing with toxic individuals. These life-changing approaches will not only help you protect your inner peace, but also empower you to rise above negativity. Stay tuned until the end because the strategies we're about to share will help you reclaim your emotional strength and handle toxic interactions with grace and wisdom. Before we begin, I would greatly appreciate your support. If you enjoy this video, please like it to help me continue spreading the teachings of Buddhism. If you still need to subscribe, I recommend doing so and activating the notification bell to ensure you get all future videos. If you find the topic of this video interesting, please comment with the number 1. If not, comment with a 0 so I can improve and create content that better suits your interests. Now, let's get started. In this captivating video, we're going to explore 11 life-changing strategies that wise people use to manage the emotional storm that comes from interacting with toxic individuals. But before we delve into these transformative methods, let's set the scene. Imagine it's a bright, peaceful morning. The sky is clear, the air feels crisp, and the world seems calm. You open the window, allowing the fresh breeze to fill your home as you prepare to start your day. The scent of your favorite coffee fills the room, and for a moment, everything feels perfect. You sit down to enjoy this peaceful start, relishing the silence and warmth. Suddenly, the phone rings. It's someone you know, maybe a friend, a colleague, or even a family member. You answer, eager to share the joy you've been feeling, the good things happening in your life. But instead of matching your energy, they respond with criticism, skepticism, and negativity. Their words feel like daggers, tearing through the calmness you've so carefully created. It's incredible how a few harsh words can rip apart the tranquility of an entire morning. That peaceful feeling you had? Gone in an instant. It's as if their negativity has crawled under your skin, poisoning what was once a joyful moment. Dealing with people like this can leave you feeling drained, overwhelmed, and powerless. But here's the thing. It's not the words themselves that have this power, it's how we let them affect us. Toxic people are like storm clouds. They roll in unexpectedly, casting shadows over your day, but their power to linger is only as strong as the attention we give them. Think about this for a moment. How often has a single negative comment left you spiraling, even after receiving countless compliments and encouragement from others? It's as though that one critical remark becomes larger than life, like a dark stain on a white canvas, demanding all your attention. But here's a secret. While the stain is there, it doesn't define the whole picture. You have the ability to decide if that mark will overshadow everything else or if you'll let it simply be what it is, a small, insignificant blemish in a much larger masterpiece. Buddha once said that holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. In the end, it's you who gets burned. These toxic interactions are no different. They are like tiny fires waiting to consume your inner peace, but you don't have to let them. Toxicity is often a reflection of someone else's inner pain, their unresolved battles. It's not a mirror of your worth, but it can feel so personal, so heavy, that you begin to internalize it as your own. The real challenge lies not in avoiding these people, but in how you protect your energy when their negativity shows up, uninvited. Before we dive into the 11 powerful strategies that wise people use to handle toxic individuals, I want you to pause and ask yourself, how often do I let someone's negative energy dictate the course of my day? How frequently do I allow their judgment to define my sense of self-worth? These are not just passing moments. They are reflections of how we handle our emotional boundaries. The good news is, you can change this. By adopting these 11 life-altering strategies, you'll not only protect your inner peace, but also reclaim your emotional power in every interaction. So, stay tuned as we take you through these transformative practices that will help you rise above toxic behaviors, set boundaries that empower you, and navigate these difficult interactions with the wisdom and grace of those who have mastered the art of inner peace. Number 1. Detecting false cordiality. Picture this. You're at a casual gathering with friends, and one of them begins to compliment your recent accomplishments. On the surface, their words seem kind, their tone pleasant, but something feels off. Their smile doesn't reach their eyes, their gestures feel stiff, and their praise sounds hollow, as though you're watching a well-rehearsed performance in a play rather than an authentic interaction. In that moment, you realize this isn't genuine kindness, it's false cordiality. A subtle, yet toxic form of behavior that can easily lead to conflict or emotional turmoil if left unchecked. As Buddha wisely taught, sometimes the most powerful response is silence. Recognizing false cordiality is crucial to protecting yourself from the emotional traps of toxic individuals. These people often pretend to be on your side, offering superficial kindness while harboring hidden motives. Their smiles are empty, their words rehearsed, and their warmth is nothing more than a thin veneer. It's a performance, designed to manipulate and control, rather than to connect. The key is in learning to trust that nagging feeling in your gut when someone's actions don't align with their words. Scientific studies on body language reinforce what many of us intuitively know. The truth of a person's emotions can often be seen in their nonverbal cues. Dr. Paul Ekman, a leading expert in the study of microexpressions, found that genuine emotions, like joy or appreciation, flicker across a person's face for mere fractions of a second before they can be masked by a more controlled expression. So, if someone's smile doesn't reach their eyes, or their facial expressions don't quite match the words they're saying, you might be dealing with someone engaging in false cordiality. From a psychological perspective, people who attempt to manipulate often use false warmth and compliments as a way to disarm and control their target. Dale Carnegie, in his famous work How to Win Friends and Influence People, warns of the power of flattery as a manipulative tool. When you encounter someone whose friendliness feels forced, it's essential to stay neutral, remain emotionally detached, and avoid getting sucked into their game. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. False cordiality isn't just a social annoyance. It's a dangerous form of manipulation that slowly erodes the trust and security in relationships. It can lead to feelings of betrayal, confusion, and stress. If you fail to recognize and address this behavior, you risk becoming entangled in someone's web of insincerity. And as Eckhart Tolle famously said, authentic relationships are not about perfection. They are about honesty and transparency. The absence of authenticity in relationships breeds discontent, leading to a slow but certain breakdown of emotional well-being. The emotional toll of being surrounded by false intentions can be heavy, even devastating. Prolonged exposure to insincere relationships can cause significant mental distress. According to research by Dr. Susan Whitbourne at the University of Maryland, toxic relationships filled with manipulation and falsehoods can contribute to chronic stress, leading to anxiety, depression, and even long-term health problems. This is why it's so crucial to identify false cordiality as early as possible. To protect yourself, pay close attention to the nuances of people's behavior. Do their words align with their actions? Is their body language consistent with what they're saying? How do they look at you when they're offering praise? If you sense any form of dissonance, it's a red flag. Trust your intuition. More often than not, your gut feeling is telling you something that your mind hasn't fully processed yet. Recognizing false cordiality allows you to take control, set boundaries, and decide who deserves a place in your life. Only by identifying and rejecting false intentions can you maintain your emotional well-being and cultivate relationships built on truth, not manipulation. Number 2. Avoiding unnecessary arguments. Imagine this. You're sitting at a family dinner, a time meant for connection and celebration. The room is buzzing with conversation and laughter, but suddenly, one family member turns the spotlight on you. Their voice cuts through the chatter as they begin criticizing your life choices, throwing passive-aggressive comments about your career, your relationships, or even how you've decided to live your life. The irritation rises inside you like a tidal wave, ready to crash at any moment. You can feel the heat of frustration building, the urge to defend yourself, to push back against their unsolicited critique. But in that moment, a quiet voice inside you reminds you of an important truth. Not every battle is worth fighting. In life, there are countless opportunities to argue, defend, and explain ourselves. But as the ancient saying goes, choose your battles wisely. Not every criticism requires a response. In fact, many don't. Dealing with toxic individuals is like being tossed about in a stormy sea. You never know when the next wave will hit, or how strong it will be. But here's the key. It's not your job to fight every wave. Instead, you can learn to navigate through them with grace, knowing when to let things pass and when to take a stand. The Dalai Lama once said, "Sometimes silence is the best answer." When toxic people attack, their goal is often to provoke a reaction. They want to see you flustered, to know their words have hit home. Engaging with them, especially in the heat of the moment, can feel like adding fuel to a fire. The more you react, the more the flames grow, consuming your energy, your peace, and sometimes even your dignity. Toxic people thrive on conflict. They feed off the drama and chaos they create. By stepping into their battlefield, you give them exactly what they want, control over your emotions. But what if you didn't engage? What if, instead of giving them your attention, you chose to remain calm, refusing to be drawn into their storm? When you choose not to argue, you are not being passive, nor are you surrendering. In fact, you are doing something far more powerful. You are reclaiming your energy and deciding that this person, this moment, does not deserve the power to disrupt your peace. It's not about ignoring the issue, but about preserving your emotional well-being and recognizing that not every challenge requires a reaction. There's a profound strength in knowing when to stay silent, when to let the insults or criticism roll off you like water off a duck's back. Silence, in these moments, becomes your shield. It sends a clear message that their negativity has no place in your world. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you must defend yourself or prove your worth, especially when facing toxic people who seem determined to tear you down. But the truth is, your worth doesn't need defending. It stands on its own, regardless of what others say or think. The idea of avoiding unnecessary arguments isn't about avoiding confrontation altogether. There are times when standing up for yourself is necessary. But the key is knowing when that moment is, and more importantly, knowing when it's not. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. There's wisdom in recognizing when a battle is worth your time and energy, and when it's best to walk away. Toxic individuals will often bait you into conflict, hoping to drag you into their web of negativity. Engaging with them only gives them more power over your emotions. It's like trying to extinguish a fire by throwing more wood onto the flames. The more you argue, the bigger and hotter the conflict becomes. Instead, consider this. When someone attacks or criticizes you, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this argument really worth my peace? Does engaging with this person serve my greater purpose, or is it just a distraction from my own happiness? 9 times out of 10, you'll find that the answer is no. When you refuse to engage in toxic arguments, you're not letting them win. Quite the opposite, you're showing them that their words have no power over you. And in doing so, you take away their weapon. Sometimes, instead of arguing, a better approach is to disarm the other person with calm, reflective questions. Instead of reacting defensively, you might say, "What makes you feel that way?" Or, "Can you help me understand why you see it that way?" These types of questions don't invite conflict. Instead, they shift the focus back onto the other person, forcing them to examine their own behavior. This tactic is not about changing their mind, but about preventing the situation from escalating. Moreover, engaging in unnecessary arguments with toxic people can take a serious toll on your mental health. Research has shown that frequent conflict, especially with toxic individuals, can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even depression. The constant strain of defending yourself against negativity drains your emotional reserves, leaving you exhausted and depleted. That's why avoiding unnecessary arguments is not just about keeping the peace in the moment. It's about preserving your long-term mental health. When you walk away from a pointless argument, you're protecting your emotional well-being. You're ensuring that your energy is spent on things that truly matter, on people who uplift you, on activities that bring you joy, and on moments that fill your life with purpose. Toxic people may try to pull you into their storm, but remember, you are not obligated to join them. In the end, avoiding unnecessary arguments is about reclaiming your power. It's about knowing when to stand your ground and when to simply let go. It's about recognizing that your peace of mind is far more valuable than winning a meaningless argument. By refusing to engage with toxic people, you're not only protecting yourself from their negativity, you're showing them that their chaos has no place in your life. And that, in itself, is the ultimate victory. Number 3. Forgiveness and memory. Imagine being at a family gathering, a setting meant for warmth and connection. But there's always that one person, someone whose presence casts a shadow over the event. They criticize, complain, and seem to drain the energy from the room, leaving everyone emotionally exhausted. In these moments, dealing with toxic people requires a delicate balance between two powerful tools: forgiveness and memory. The Dalai Lama wisely reminds us, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting, it means letting go of anger and pain. This profound truth highlights the dual role of forgiveness and memory in navigating toxic relationships. Forgiveness liberates you from the burden of resentment, allowing you to release the chains of bitterness that hold you down. It's not about condoning harmful behavior or pretending that hurtful words were never spoken. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight of that pain. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, one that allows you to rise above the negative emotions that toxic people try to impose on you. But while forgiveness clears your heart, memory keeps your mind sharp. It reminds you of past wounds and teaches you to protect yourself from those who may harm you again. Picture this. Instead of feeling knots of frustration in your stomach when you see that person at the next family gathering, you feel a sense of calm wash over you. You look at them, not with anger, but with a deep understanding. Their toxic words and behaviors are nothing more than projections of their own inner struggles. They are battling demons you cannot see, and while their attacks may feel personal, they are reflections of their own pain. Forgiveness, in this sense, becomes your anchor in stormy seas, keeping you steady while memory serves as the map that helps you avoid the treacherous waters of repeated hurt. Each time you choose to forgive, you grow stronger. Forgiveness doesn't erase the memory of past wounds. Instead, it empowers you to move forward without carrying the weight of those hurts with you. Memory, on the other hand, ensures that you don't stumble into the same traps. It's your protective mechanism, reminding you of the lessons learned from past experiences. While forgiveness lets you release the poison of anger, memory ensures you don't allow those same individuals to wound you again. Psychologist Fred Luskin, a leading expert in the field of forgiveness at Stanford University, asserts that forgiveness can dramatically improve both your emotional and physical health. His research shows that practicing forgiveness reduces stress, enhances your overall well-being, and gives you a renewed sense of control over your life. People who are able to forgive tend to be more satisfied with their relationships and are often better equipped to handle the challenges life throws their way. However, forgiving doesn't mean you have to accept or tolerate harmful behaviors. Instead, your memories of past experiences serve as invaluable lessons that guide you toward healthier relationships and safer emotional waters. Forgiveness is an act of profound inner strength. It helps you reclaim your energy, let go of negativity, and regain your sense of peace. It allows you to untangle yourself from the emotional traps set by toxic individuals. But memory is equally crucial. It's your compass, pointing you away from danger and toward healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Memory helps you set boundaries, keeping you from repeating the same mistakes. It empowers you to make wiser decisions about who you allow into your life and how you choose to interact with them. Reflect for a moment. Who in your life brings light and joy, like the warmth of the sun on a cool day? Who lifts you up, making you feel alive, energized, and valued? Now, contrast that with the people who drain you, those who seem to pull the energy right out of you, leaving you feeling exhausted, frustrated, and diminished. These are the individuals you must be cautious of. While forgiveness allows you to release your anger toward them, Memory reminds you to set boundaries and avoid letting them back into your inner circle. Imagine forgiveness as the rudder steering you through a sea of emotions. It helps you maintain your course, no matter how turbulent the waters get. But without memory as your compass, you could easily drift back into dangerous territory, repeating the same painful experiences. Memory is your guide. It keeps you safe, helping you recognize the red flags and warning signs that signal toxic behavior. Together, forgiveness and memory become your most powerful allies, enabling you to navigate even the most challenging relationships with grace and wisdom. Ultimately, forgiveness and memory work hand in hand to protect you. Forgiveness allows you to heal, to move forward without bitterness poisoning your heart, while memory safeguards you from being hurt again. The next time you find yourself in the presence of someone who has hurt you, ask yourself, have I truly forgiven them, or am I still holding on to resentment? And more importantly, has my memory reminded me of the boundaries I need to set to protect my peace? By using forgiveness as your rudder and memory as your compass, you will not only navigate toxic relationships with greater ease, but also find your way toward a life filled with deeper peace, joy, and fulfillment. Number 4. Self-awareness. Imagine walking through the door after a long, exhausting day at work, ready to relax and unwind. Just as you start to let go of the day's stresses, your phone buzzes. It's a message from someone who always seems to have something negative to say, someone whose words feel like dark clouds overshadowing the positive moments you've worked so hard to cultivate. Suddenly, the joy you felt a moment ago feels distant, as if it's been stained by their negativity. In these moments, the key to protecting your peace lies in one powerful tool: self-awareness. Buddha famously said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This profound truth speaks directly to the heart of self-awareness. What we allow ourselves to focus on shapes our experience of life. But how do we control our thoughts and emotions when faced with toxic individuals who seem intent on spreading negativity? Psychologist Daniel Goleman, a pioneer in the field of emotional intelligence, asserts that self-awareness is the very foundation of managing our emotions. It's about understanding what's happening inside us, recognizing the impact of external forces, and responding consciously rather than reacting impulsively. When you encounter a toxic person, your reaction becomes the critical element. These individuals spread negativity like smoke, creeping into every corner of your mind, making it hard to breathe emotionally. But self-awareness is your personal filter, allowing you to manage how much of that negativity you let in. Start by tuning into your body and emotions. Do you notice an increase in your heart rate? Are your fists clenching, or is there a knot forming in your stomach? These physical signals are like alarms going off, telling you that someone has touched a sensitive part of you. The key is not to ignore these signs, but to explore them. Ask yourself, what is really bothering me about this interaction? Is it their words, or is it something deeper within me? Often, we find that toxic people unknowingly tap into our own insecurities or unresolved issues. They hit our weak spots, amplifying emotions we may not have fully acknowledged or dealt with. But self-awareness gives you the ability to pause, reflect, and separate their negativity from your own feelings. In doing so, you can maintain the emotional distance necessary to protect yourself from being drawn into their spiral of negativity. John Kabat-Zinn, the founder of the Stress Reduction Clinic in the US, has demonstrated through numerous studies that mindfulness and meditation practices can help us manage difficult emotions. By regularly practicing mindfulness, we develop a deeper understanding of ourselves, our triggers, our vulnerabilities, and our strengths. This heightened awareness becomes particularly useful when dealing with toxic people. Instead of reacting to their negativity, we can choose to respond mindfully. This difference between reaction and response is profound. A reaction is instinctual, often driven by anger or hurt, while a response is deliberate, thoughtful, and rooted in emotional strength. Imagine building an emotional fortress, not one made of rigid walls that keep you disconnected from the world, but a fortress built on self-awareness, inner peace, and emotional resilience. This fortress allows you to face negativity without letting it consume you. It's not about pretending toxic people don't affect you, but about recognizing their impact without letting it dictate your actions or cloud your mind. Self-awareness teaches us to acknowledge negativity without letting it define us. It helps us see toxic behavior for what it is, a reflection of the other person's struggles, not a commentary on our worth. When we are truly self-aware, we can let toxic words pass through us without sticking, like water off a duck's back. This ability to detach from the emotional whirlwind of others' negativity strengthens us, building a resilience that allows us to face life's challenges with calm and clarity. But self-awareness isn't just about surviving toxic encounters. It's about thriving through them. When you consciously recognize your emotional reactions, you gain the power to choose how you respond. You can decide whether to engage with the toxic person or to step away and protect your peace. This choice empowers you and prevents toxic individuals from dictating the direction of your emotions. It shifts the power back into your hands, reminding you that you are in control of how you feel, no matter how chaotic the external world may seem. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. This practice of self-awareness, especially when cultivated through mindfulness or meditation, creates a deeper sense of balance within you. Over time, it becomes easier to maintain your emotional equilibrium, even when toxic people try to throw you off course. You begin to understand that their negativity is not yours to carry. The more you practice self-awareness, the stronger your emotional fortress becomes, and the less power toxic people have over your inner state. It's not about ignoring the negativity or pretending that toxic people don't affect you. It's about recognizing their influence without letting it define your day, your mood, or your self-worth. In fact, the challenges that come with dealing with toxic individuals often serve to strengthen us. Every time you practice self-awareness in these situations, you become more resilient, more grounded, and more in tune with yourself. So the next time you feel that familiar knot of frustration or anxiety in response to a toxic person, take a deep breath and turn inward. Pay attention to how you're feeling, acknowledge the emotion, and ask yourself, what is really bothering me right now? In doing so, you'll find that you can navigate these encounters with greater ease, protecting your peace and building the emotional resilience that will serve you for the rest of your life. Number 5. Setting boundaries. Imagine a scenario where, day after day at work, you find yourself overwhelmed by a colleague who repeatedly dumps their tasks on you. They seem oblivious to your own responsibilities, piling more work onto your plate without a second thought. Frustration gnaws at you, stress mounts, but instead of voicing your discomfort, you quietly shoulder the burden, hoping things will change. But the truth is, without boundaries, nothing will. As the workload grows heavier, so does the sense of burnout, leaving you drained and feeling like you've lost control over your own life. Setting boundaries is not just a practical necessity, it's an act of self-care, self-respect, and compassion for yourself. When we set boundaries, we are consciously drawing a protective line around our energy and peace, ensuring that we don't get overwhelmed by the demands or expectations of others. Toxic individuals, whether at work or in your personal life, have a way of crossing these invisible lines. They manipulate, criticize, and apply pressure, often without regard for how it affects you. Learning to say no and clearly communicating your needs is crucial for your well-being, though it can feel difficult at first. Boundaries are not walls meant to keep people out, but lines drawn to protect the sacred space of your mental and emotional health. Without these boundaries, you risk losing your sense of balance, allowing the demands of others to overshadow your own needs. The moment someone crosses these lines, it's important to respond firmly but respectfully. For instance, when a colleague attempts to offload their tasks onto you, a clear and calm response might be, "I understand you have a lot going on, but I have my own deadlines to meet and can't take on any additional work right now." This type of communication reinforces your boundary without causing unnecessary conflict. It's about being assertive without being aggressive, standing your ground without being drawn into emotional manipulation. The great spiritual master once said, "Setting boundaries means you love yourself enough to say no to those who try to disturb your peace." This wisdom highlights the deeper meaning of boundaries. They are not just about controlling external behavior, but about honoring yourself enough to protect your inner tranquility. Boundaries are not selfish. They are essential acts of self-love. By setting limits, you preserve your energy and prevent toxic people from draining you emotionally and mentally. Scientists have also found that setting boundaries is crucial for maintaining mental health. Research published in the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology shows that individuals who consistently set boundaries in their professional lives experience less stress, greater job satisfaction, and overall better mental well-being. Without boundaries, chronic stress becomes an inevitable companion, leading to burnout, anxiety, and even physical health problems over time. This applies not only to work environments but also to personal relationships, where unclear boundaries can result in emotional fatigue and strained connections. Dr. Henry Cloud, a renowned psychologist and author of Boundaries, When to Say Yes, How to Say No to Take Control of Your Life, emphasizes that boundaries are a necessary component of healthy living. According to Cloud, boundaries help us maintain balance between our work and personal lives, enabling us to focus on what truly matters without being pulled in every direction by external demands. If you allow toxic individuals to continue exploiting your kindness or sense of duty, the result will be a never-ending cycle of stress, frustration, and resentment. And eventually, this will take its toll on your health, your productivity, and your relationships. A lack of boundaries not only drains your energy but also distorts your self-worth. You may begin to feel obligated to please everyone, constantly putting others' needs before your own. But this is a recipe for burnout. Toxic people, especially those who thrive on manipulating others, will take advantage of this until you have nothing left to give. And when that happens, it's not just your work that suffers. Your personal life, your relationships, and your mental health all take a hit. Without boundaries, your sense of balance is constantly at risk. However, when you establish clear boundaries, you become the architect of your own peace. You are no longer at the mercy of external pressures, but stand firm in your ability to protect what's important to you. Boundaries are empowering because they give you control over how others treat you and how much of yourself you're willing to give. Setting boundaries also fosters healthier, more respectful relationships. Toxic people often test your boundaries, but when you hold firm, they realize they can't exploit your kindness. Over time, this may even lead to them backing off or changing their behavior. Emotional stability hinges on our ability to manage conflict in a balanced, healthy way. Boundaries are your safeguard. They help you maintain a sense of control and protect your emotional reserves from being depleted by the demands of others. The next time you find yourself in a situation where your boundaries are being tested, remember that you have the power to say no. You have the right to protect your peace. By setting firm, respectful boundaries, you prevent toxic people from disturbing your inner balance and ensure that you remain in control of your own life. Boundaries are not just lines drawn in the sand. They are acts of strength and love, both for yourself and for the people around you. When you take responsibility for setting clear limits, you create space for healthier relationships and a more peaceful, fulfilled life. Toxic individuals may continue to push, but with boundaries in place, their influence over your peace and well-being becomes far less potent. You are in charge of your own balance. Build it with intention, and watch how your life changes for the better. Number 6. Emotional stability. Imagine yourself at a social gathering, surrounded by friends, enjoying light conversation and laughter. Suddenly, one friend, who seems to relish in criticism, turns their attention toward you. They begin to dissect your actions, pointing out every mistake, magnifying your flaws in front of everyone. A wave of tension rises within you, anger bubbling just beneath the surface. It's a familiar situation, one that could easily knock you off balance and ruin your mood for the rest of the day. But there's a way to handle this without letting it consume you. Emotional stability. Emotional stability is the ability to remain calm and composed, even when faced with difficult people or challenging situations. It's not about suppressing your emotions, but mastering the art of responding to them with grace and control. When you cultivate emotional stability, you become less reactive to external circumstances, allowing you to maintain your sense of peace, even when others try to disrupt it. In Zen Buddhism, emotional stability is a cornerstone of inner peace. The practice emphasizes the importance of staying grounded, no matter how chaotic the world around you may seem. As Buddha wisely said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. This teaching is a reminder that your emotional stability is your personal responsibility. It cannot be dependent on others' behavior or external conditions. It must come from within. The key is to anchor yourself in a place of calm, so that no matter what happens outside of you, your internal world remains steady. Think of emotional stability as a deep, quiet lake. No matter how strong the winds or how loud the noise, the depths remain still, unshaken by the disturbances on the surface. This is the kind of inner stability that Zen practices seek to cultivate. It allows you to stay centered and composed, even when life throws you into turbulent situations. When a toxic person directs their negativity at you, it's easy to feel provoked, to react impulsively in defense. But true emotional stability means resisting that urge to react immediately. Instead, you pause, take a breath, and observe your emotions as they rise. You acknowledge the anger or hurt, but choose not to let it dictate your actions. You remain in control, responding thoughtfully rather than reacting from a place of frustration. Zen practices, such as mindfulness and meditation, offer practical tools for cultivating emotional stability. Through mindfulness, you learn to stay present in the moment, noticing your emotional triggers without being consumed by them. Meditation allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions with detachment, giving you the space to choose how to respond. Over time, these practices strengthen your emotional resilience, making it easier to stay calm in the face of criticism or conflict. Imagine yourself in that same social gathering, but this time, when your friend starts criticizing you, you feel the familiar stir of tension, but instead of reacting, you remain centered. You hear their words, but you don't internalize them. You maintain your composure, knowing that their criticism reflects more about them than it does about you. By staying grounded, you diffuse the power of their negativity. This kind of emotional mastery doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, you can develop a level of stability that shields you from the emotional chaos others try to create. Emotional stability is not about being emotionless. It's about being in control of how you allow your emotions to affect you. When you're emotionally stable, you don't let others' negativity disrupt your peace. You become like a tree rooted in the earth. No matter how strong the wind blows, you stand firm. Research in psychology also supports the importance of emotional stability in overall well-being. Studies show that people who cultivate emotional regulation skills are less likely to experience chronic stress, anxiety, and depression. They also tend to have stronger relationships and greater life satisfaction. Emotional stability allows you to navigate difficult situations with grace, ensuring that you maintain control over your inner state, even when the external world feels out of control. But emotional stability is not just about surviving toxic interactions, it's about thriving in them. By mastering your emotions, you gain the ability to choose your response, to rise above negativity, and to maintain your sense of peace, no matter what life throws at you. Instead of being swept away by anger or frustration, you learn to let those emotions pass, like clouds drifting across the sky, leaving your inner peace intact. The next time you find yourself in a situation where someone's words or actions threaten to throw you off balance, remember that you hold the power to maintain your peace. Take a deep breath, ground yourself in the present moment, and choose how to respond. Emotional stability is your anchor. Cultivate it, and you'll find that even in the stormiest of times, you can remain calm, centered, and in control. Number 7. Practicing mindfulness. When we encounter toxic individuals, it's easy to let their negativity seep into our emotional space, but the key to protecting ourselves lies in focusing on our inner strength. Rather than allowing the destructive energy of others to pull us down, we must remain mindful of our own emotional stability. Recognizing toxic behavior for what it is, the manipulation, criticism, and humiliation intended to provoke a reaction, is the first step toward maintaining your peace. Toxic people often operate from a place of insecurity, seeking to bring you down to their level because your higher energy reminds them of their own unresolved issues. They thrive on reactions, using conflict to draw attention away from their own flaws. When you begin to notice these patterns of behavior, the best thing you can do is practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for staying centered, helping you manage your emotions and maintain emotional distance from the negativity that toxic individuals try to create. Instead of reacting impulsively when someone criticizes or provokes you, mindfulness teaches you to pause, observe, and respond with intention. It's the difference between being swept up in the storm of negativity and standing calmly at the center of it. Imagine this. You're in a situation where someone is pushing your buttons, trying to get a rise out of you. In that moment, instead of engaging in the argument or feeling overwhelmed, you take a step back. You breathe deeply, feeling the air fill your lungs and bring a sense of calm. You observe your emotions as they rise, but instead of judging them or letting them control you, you simply notice them. This mindful pause allows you to respond from a place of strength and clarity, rather than being driven by anger or frustration. As the Dalai Lama said, mindfulness is the friend of those who walk the path with a pure heart. Mindfulness allows you to remain pure in your intentions, not letting the toxicity of others corrupt your emotional state. It provides you with the space to choose your reactions consciously, ensuring that you stay true to yourself even in the face of negativity. Scientific research supports the profound benefits of mindfulness. Studies from the University of California have shown that regular mindfulness practice reduces stress, enhances concentration, and boosts overall happiness. Mindfulness creates a buffer between you and the chaos that toxic people attempt to create, making it easier for you to stay centered and grounded. When you are fully aware of your emotions in the moment, you gain the power to control how you respond to difficult situations, preventing toxic people from destabilizing you or pulling you into their negativity. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Without mindfulness, we run the risk of reacting impulsively to toxic behavior, which can lead to emotional exhaustion and even damage our own relationships over time. If we're not careful, the negativity of others can begin to wear us down, turning us into the very thing we despise. Mindfulness helps prevent this by keeping us aware of our emotions and reactions, allowing us to break the cycle of toxicity and maintain our emotional balance. It's important to remember that emotional stability doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending that negative people don't affect us. It means handling these situations with calm and balance, ensuring that we don't let others control our emotions or our actions. In essence, emotional stability is the foundation upon which we can build our resilience against toxic individuals. By practicing mindfulness and drawing upon the wisdom of Buddhist teachings, we can protect our inner peace and remain anchored in our own truth. The next time you find yourself faced with a difficult or toxic situation, take a moment to pause. Breathe deeply and remind yourself that you are in control of your emotional state. Mindfulness will guide you through the storm, helping you stay grounded in the present moment and ensuring that you remain the architect of your own peace. Number 8. Energy intelligence. Imagine yourself in a scenario where you're enjoying a relaxed, joyful day with friends, the atmosphere filled with laughter and positive energy. Then, someone with a negative attitude enters the group. Almost instantly, the mood shifts, tension fills the air, and the lively conversation begins to fade. This person complains, criticizes, and brings an uncomfortable heaviness to the gathering. Moments like these test your ability to manage your emotional and mental energy, a skill known as energy intelligence. Energy intelligence is the conscious awareness and management of your personal energy to protect yourself from external negativity. It's the ability to notice when someone is draining your energy and to take steps to shield yourself from that influence. So how can you tell if someone is negatively affecting your energy? These individuals often exhibit a pattern of behaviors: constant complaining, criticizing others, provoking conflicts, or manipulating emotions. If you find that after spending time with someone, you feel inexplicably exhausted, stressed, or discouraged, it's a clear sign that your energy is being depleted. But how should you respond when you identify this behavior? The first and most crucial step is not to react emotionally in the moment. Reacting without thought can pull you further into the negative energy they are projecting. Instead, take a moment to step back and observe. Ask yourself, where is this negative energy coming from? Is it a reflection of something deeper within them? By creating emotional distance, you prevent their negativity from affecting your internal state. In these moments, breathing techniques or short mindfulness exercises can be your greatest ally. Taking a few deep breaths or quietly meditating can help you regain clarity and prevent the negativity from sticking to you. Sometimes, the best course of action is to limit your exposure to these individuals or even remove yourself from the situation entirely. While this may feel uncomfortable, especially if it's a friend, family member, or colleague, protecting your energy is essential for maintaining your well-being. It's important to recognize that you are not obligated to absorb or tolerate someone's negativity, no matter the relationship. Scientific studies have shown that chronic exposure to negativity, especially through toxic relationships, can have serious consequences on your health. Constant stress from these interactions has been linked to hypertension, anxiety, depression, and other stress-related illnesses. Psychologist Dr. Susan Krauss-Whitborn emphasizes the importance of energy management in maintaining mental and emotional well-being. She stresses that setting healthy boundaries and becoming attuned to your own needs is vital for protecting yourself from the harmful effects of toxic interactions. If you allow the negative energy of others to seep into your life unchecked, it can erode your inner peace, destabilizing your emotional balance and even affecting your physical health. Over time, this can diminish your quality of life, strain your relationships, and leave you feeling emotionally drained. By practicing energy intelligence, you learn to recognize when your energy is being threatened and can take active steps to preserve it. So how can you strengthen your energy intelligence? It begins with self-awareness and self-control. Being in tune with your emotions and physical sensations will help you detect when your energy is being compromised. Pay attention to how you feel in certain environments and around specific people. Do you feel energized and uplifted, or do you leave interactions feeling tired and emotionally worn down? Once you've identified the energy drainers in your life, the next step is setting boundaries. These boundaries might be as simple as limiting your time with a toxic person or mentally preparing yourself before entering interactions with them. Remember, energy intelligence isn't just about defense. It's also about adjusting your own energy to maintain balance. This might mean practicing techniques that recharge you, such as meditation, exercise, or time spent in nature. Surround yourself with people and activities that uplift and inspire you, rather than drain and discourage you. By doing so, you create a positive, energetic environment that supports your emotional and physical well-being. There's an old saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you allow others to deplete your energy, you won't have the resources to take care of yourself or those you love. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's necessary. You are responsible for your own peace and balance, and practicing energy intelligence is the key to maintaining both. By being mindful of the energy around you and actively choosing how to engage with it, you can navigate toxic situations with grace, preserving your inner calm and well-being. The next time you encounter someone whose negativity threatens to disrupt your peace, remember that you have the power to manage your energy. Practice mindfulness, set boundaries, and take responsibility for protecting your inner balance. In doing so, you will not only shield yourself from the toxicity of others, but also cultivate a life filled with positive energy and emotional stability. Number 9. Focusing on your goals. Picture this. You've embarked on a journey towards something that truly excites you, a new project, a skill you've always wanted to master, or perhaps a fitness goal that's long been on your mind. You're full of energy and enthusiasm, moving confidently toward your aspirations. But then, as you're making strides, negativity begins to creep in. People around you start to question your decisions. Some offer unsolicited advice, undermining your confidence, while others mock your ambition, treating it like a passing phase. Their words are like dark clouds threatening to overshadow your progress. In these moments, you must remember that while you cannot control other people's negativity, you have absolute control over how you respond. The first step is understanding that toxic individuals, whether they are critics, doubters, or pessimists, often project their own insecurities and fears onto others. Their negativity is not about you, it's about them. Buddhism teaches us to turn inward, to focus on mindfulness and inner peace, especially when the world outside is trying to shake our resolve. Imagine meditating during a fierce storm. The storm rages on, but within, you remain still and calm. This is the essence of resilience, the ability to stay grounded in your truth even when external forces try to destabilize you. When you encounter skepticism, criticism, or outright negativity from others, resist the urge to defend yourself. Engaging in arguments or trying to convince others of your viewpoint only drains your energy, diverting your focus from what truly matters, your goals. Instead, practice detachment. Smile politely, nod if necessary, and keep moving forward. Let their words wash over you like a passing wind, insignificant and fleeting. By doing this, you're not ignoring reality, but choosing not to let the opinions of others affect your path. Your energy is finite, and it must be preserved for what's truly important, your journey of growth and achievement. Focusing on your goals means developing a laser-like focus, a commitment to your aspirations that is strong enough to withstand any distractions that come your way. Toxic people, whether intentionally or not, will try to sidetrack you. They may criticize your efforts, plant seeds of doubt, or even discourage you from pursuing your dreams. But remember, their negativity is a reflection of their own internal struggles. It's not your job to carry their burdens. Your light may make them uncomfortable, but that's no reason to dim it. Energy intelligence becomes your most valuable tool here. By tuning into how certain people, conversations, or situations make you feel, you can protect your energy and direct it where it's needed most. When you notice that certain interactions leave you feeling drained or demoralized, take a mental step back and reassess. Limit your time with those who drag you down, and instead, surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you. Direct your focus toward your goals, and let the rest fade into the background. As you move forward, inner balance and determination will serve as your anchors. Cultivating emotional resilience is key to maintaining focus, especially in the face of adversity. Enjoy the process of working toward your goals, savor the small victories, and let your passion fuel you. When negativity comes your way, remind yourself that your path is your own, and you are the sole navigator of your destiny. Others' opinions, no matter how loud, are just noise. They have no power unless you give it to them. Protect your energy, focus on your objectives, and let nothing extinguish the flame of your ambition. Number 10. Seeking support. Now imagine encountering someone who, despite all your efforts to maintain a positive outlook, consistently frustrates you. Perhaps they're a colleague who criticizes your every move, or a family member who never fails to find fault in your actions. Their presence feels like a dark cloud, heavy and unrelenting, draining your energy and testing your patience at every turn. No matter how hard you try to remain calm and composed, their negativity clings to you, leaving you feeling exhausted and defeated. In moments like these, seeking support from others is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. Often, we believe that facing our challenges alone is a mark of resilience, but true wisdom lies in knowing when to ask for help. Think of support as a light that illuminates your path when the darkness seems overwhelming. A trusted friend, mentor, or confidant can offer you valuable insights, helping you see things from a different perspective. Their advice might be the key to unlocking a solution you hadn't considered, or simply a reminder that you are not alone in your struggles. Imagine a wise mentor offering you words of guidance. They listen to your frustrations and then, with a calm clarity, provide a different way of looking at the situation. Suddenly, what felt like an insurmountable obstacle now seems manageable. Seeking support allows you to zoom out, to see the bigger picture. It's like stepping back from a map. What once looked like a dead end now reveals several alternative routes. Support from others helps you recalibrate, bringing you back to your center so that you can face toxic situations with renewed strength. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, Please comment number 4 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Reflect on times in your life when you've encountered difficult people or challenging situations. How did you handle them? Did you try to go it alone, or did you reach out for support? In Buddhism, it's understood that while the path to enlightenment is deeply personal, it doesn't have to be walked in isolation. There is great value in community, in the wisdom of others, and in knowing when to ask for help. Seeking support, whether emotional, spiritual, or practical, is a powerful tool for maintaining inner peace in the face of external negativity. It's also important to recognize that not all support is the same. Choose your confidants wisely. Seek out people who genuinely care for your well-being, who have your best interests at heart. These are the people who will not only listen but offer constructive advice, helping you navigate the complexities of life's challenges. Surround yourself with individuals who lift you up, not those who contribute to your stress. Support is about more than just venting. It's about receiving the tools and encouragement you need to keep moving forward. By seeking support, you can better manage toxic people and protect your inner peace. It's not about avoiding difficult situations or pretending that negativity doesn't exist. Instead, it's about equipping yourself with the wisdom and strength to face these challenges with grace. Whether it's through the advice of a trusted mentor or the comfort of a close friend, support helps you stay grounded and resilient. Remember, you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. There's strength in asking for help, in seeking guidance when the path becomes unclear. By leaning on others, you gain the space to reflect and choose your reactions mindfully. You are the architect of your peace, but even the strongest architects sometimes need a blueprint or a helping hand. Seek support, and watch as you become more adept at managing toxic situations while preserving your inner calm and balance. Number 11. Controlling negative self-talk. Think back to a time when you encountered someone who seemed to bring darkness to every joyful moment, like a stone cast into a serene lake, disrupting the calm and sending ripples across your peace. We've all met people like this, individuals who, through their negativity, have a way of dimming our light. But here's the truth. While we can't always avoid toxic people, the way we respond to them, particularly how we talk to ourselves in the aftermath, can either become our greatest strength or our downfall. Imagine your mind as a grand library, with every thought a book resting on its shelves. Positive thoughts are the timeless masterpieces that enrich your collection, expanding your wisdom and enhancing your well-being. Negative thoughts, on the other hand, are those dog-eared, outdated volumes that clutter your space and detract from the beauty of your inner world. How you curate your mental library is up to you. Will you allow the unwanted volumes of self-doubt, fear, and anger to remain, or will you clear them out to make room for thoughts that inspire and uplift you? Buddhist wisdom is particularly valuable here. As Buddha said, you cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. Life's challenges, including interactions with toxic individuals, are like those waves, unpredictable and often unavoidable. But while you may not be able to stop the negativity from washing up on the shores of your mind, you can choose how you ride those waves. The key lies in controlling your inner dialogue, your self-talk, in response to difficult moments. When toxic people throw negativity your way, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism and doubt. You may find yourself asking, "Why is this happening to me?" or "What did I do wrong?" But these kinds of questions only feed the negativity, inviting it to take root in your mind. Instead, shift your internal conversation. Ask yourself, how can I grow stronger through this experience? Or, what can I learn from this challenge? This simple shift in perspective transforms adversity into an opportunity for growth, resilience, and wisdom. This approach not only fosters resilience, but also empathy and courage. It allows you to view negative experiences as stepping stones toward personal growth, rather than as obstacles meant to derail you. Emotional detachment is an essential tool here as well. Imagine negative comments and toxic interactions as arrows being aimed at you. Now, picture your self-esteem as a strong, impenetrable shield. These arrows, which are meant to harm and unsettle you, cannot hurt you unless you lower that shield. It is your choice whether or not to let those toxic words penetrate your defenses. Reflect for a moment on how often you allow negativity, whether from others or from your own thoughts, to influence your inner dialogue. How many times have you internalized someone else's criticism or unkindness, allowing it to shape the way you view yourself? This is where controlling negative self-talk becomes crucial. It's not about building walls around your emotions or pretending that negative people don't affect you. It's about recognizing your inherent worth and understanding that you don't have to accept every thought that crosses your mind, especially the negative ones. To take control of negative self-talk, it's important to practice mindfulness and become aware of the stories you tell yourself. When a toxic encounter occurs, instead of replaying the negative interaction in your mind, focus on affirming your strengths and your resilience. Remind yourself of your accomplishments, your values, and the goals you are working toward. You are the curator of your mental library. Only you decide which thoughts deserve a place on your shelves. Your inner peace is the most valuable asset you have, and it's something that toxic people don't deserve the power to disrupt. By learning to control your self-talk, you can maintain calm, clarity, and independence, no matter what the external circumstances may be. Instead of allowing toxic comments to trigger self-doubt, let them pass by like clouds in the sky, temporary and fleeting, unable to touch the deeper, grounded peace within you. Consider how your life might change if you were to fully master your inner dialogue. Imagine the strength and serenity you'd feel, knowing that no matter what negativity comes your way, you have the power to remain calm, focused, and secure in who you are. Toxic people may continue to throw stones, but your inner lake remains undisturbed, peaceful, and clear. The next time you find yourself confronted with negativity, whether from others or from within, take a moment to pause. Breathe deeply and remind yourself that you are in control of your inner world. You are the architect of your thoughts, and by consciously choosing what to focus on, you can transform even the most difficult situations into opportunities for growth and self-empowerment. Negative self-talk is not your destiny. It's a habit you can break by nurturing thoughts that build you up rather than tear you down. In the end, controlling negative self-talk is not just about resisting toxic influences. It's about honoring your worth and protecting the peace you've worked so hard to cultivate. You are the author of your internal narrative, and every time you choose positive, empowering thoughts, you strengthen the foundation of your inner resilience. Let this be your guiding principle as you navigate the challenges life throws your way. Your peace is yours to protect, and no one has the power to take it from you unless you allow them to. So, what have you learned so far? What stood out to you the most, and how will you bring it into practice in your life? Comment below and share one thing you're going to implement to protect your peace when dealing with toxic people. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insights and empowering content. Thank you for watching, and remember, your peace is yours to protect.